So the story of the Liver King just keeps getting better and better and better. If you haven't yet watched the apology video that he came out with, literally, it just says, "I lied." And he says quite a few things in here, which we're going to be diving into today because it's honestly, and you'll notice everyone on the internet is talking about this right now. Gaming channels, like mine included, are making videos about this because it is one of the most ridiculous things you've ever seen. And it's also a hot topic because, as I said before, even though I'm not a fitness guru and I don't necessarily follow fitness influencers, this guy has been all over my social media for like a year. And I was listening to Joe Rogan the other day talk about it, and they were going that this is one of the most organized social media campaigns ever because before a year ago, no one knew who this guy was. And all of a sudden, he came out of nowhere. And he makes some pretty ridiculous claims in the video about how he was. I mean, you'll hear it from his mouth as we go through it, but I was rich and anonymous before, and I'm still rich, and now I'm not anonymous, and his social media stuff is tricky to get through. But my favorite of all is him trying to claim that the whole reason that he took steroids and lied about it was because he wanted to inspire people to be primal and fight their depression and not commit suicide. And it's like, yeah, but you're telling them to eat raw testicles and raw liver and sunbathe their assholes as a way to suddenly look like you, but they're never going to be able to do that by doing the things you claim are what got you there in the first place, which is only going to compound their depression when they never achieve it. It is honestly, it's one of the most like face palming things you've ever seen. But don't take my word for it. We're going to dive in today. So let's just get going here.
Primals, I'm making this video to apologize. Because I fucked up.
Yeah, you did.
Because I'm embarrassed and ashamed. Because I lied.
Yeah, you lied.
And I misled a lot. Because before social media, I was rich and anonymous. And after social media, I'm still rich, but no longer anonymous. And I never expected this kind of exposure.
Well, what does that have to do with anything? Hang on. You didn't expect any of this, any type of exposure. You chose to implement a strategized social media campaign to promote you, yourself, your brand, and your supplements that you sell. How can you not have that is not just that's flat out not true. It's just not true. It was all orchestrated.
To navigation.
So here's the thing. If you're using steroids, go for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it from a personal standpoint unless you're doing some sort of sports where you're in a competitive environment. If you are monitored by a clinician and you're doing it for your own benefit and it's helping you and it's making you healthier and it's helping you live longer and so on and so forth, I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm not a trained physician, by the way, or any sort of health professional. I'm just saying I don't see anything wrong with that. However, if you're going to be in the public eye telling people that you're a natty when clearly you're not, that's the problem. You just flat out lied.
Anxiety, infertility.
Hey, let's just talk about the depression thing because here's the thing. He claims the whole reason he created the Liver King persona is to help people fight depression, right? To help them get over the depression and not commit suicide. But as I said at the beginning, like you're literally telling people this is how you fight depression. Be natural, sunbathe your balls, eat raw liver, eat raw testicles, eat raw meat, work out like a beast, and all of that's going to make you look like me and you're going to be able to be like me and that's going to fight your depression. And then when these people go out and they find out that you can't actually look like this, eating raw liver and raw meat and sunbathing your privates, uh, they're going to get more depressed and more upset and dive deeper and deeper into that hole. What is this even about? Honestly, this is just ridiculous level of. I just don't know if there's just no self-awareness. Someone said the other day that it could just be that he's surrounded himself by so many people that are yes men that he just doesn't have any actual clue about what he's saying because everyone's like, oh yeah, it's like, okay, go for it, because there's no people, there's no publicist, there's no filter team, there's nobody here to actually guide him in making these types of public statements. Incorrect, because your 9 ancestral tenets are based on a lie. There were no ancestral tenets. There are some core principles here that a lot of people preach. Work out, Yeah, it's a proven scientific fact that working out helps with depression, it helps with your health, it helps with so many different things if you're just active. Getting up and walking 30 minutes every day, doing 5 push-ups, 5 pull-ups, whatever you can do, doing some sort of physical activity helps you in a variety of ways. That's absolutely true. Eating healthy absolutely helps you in a lot of different ways. But all of these ancestral tenets that he was preaching are based on this lie that is, I'm jacked up on steroids. I'm using growth hormones. I'm taking all these supplements behind the scenes. And that's how I've achieved this level of peak performance and peak physicality.
So we can collectively express.
Our highest, most dominant form. Dude, dude. Oh man.
Never touch the stuff.
This right here. That is
That was a
ridiculous.
lie.
Yeah, it was a lie.
I
I don't believe that for a minute, dude. You don't just suddenly get into it, all of a sudden. Um, if you've been using them to, improve your performance, yeah, I don't believe that for a minute. Sorry, I just don't. I can't believe that considering your whole existence is based off of supplements. And that's, I believe, what he was doing before he even became the social media figure. And I think that's just, I don't believe that for a minute. I really don't believe that he was working out for 30. How? Nope. Nope.
deeper hole. I have only myself to blame.
This is very true. You only have yourself to blame and your ego and wanting to become even richer and more famous. And this is the path that so many social media influencers go down, whether it's in the influencing sphere or elsewhere. They are happy to live a lie. They will portray something on social media that helps them get wealthy. But in reality, they're living a completely different lifestyle. This is not the first time this has happened.
What the fuck was going on with my life?
I don't believe that for a minute. He's trying to tell people that I didn't do anything until 2021. You don't get to look like he does right now in 2022 within a year. That just doesn't happen. Like, this is years of buildup and years of. I mean, this guy has like no body fat and he's just pure muscle. Like, ignore the steroids for a minute. You can't even get that physique even with steroids in just a year's worth of time. You've got to put in time. You've got to know the routines and put in the work. So there's no doubt that he was working out for years before and putting in the work, but I don't believe for a minute that it was just within the last year that he started using hormone therapy.
Nope. I've never had ab implants, ab etching, or any other plastic surgery, and I sure as fuck never actually had gene editing done in Singapore. I made all of that up. It was all intended to be a joke, and that's an expression of ancestral tenet 10. Have a little goddamn fun. Ultimately,
Hang on. Making up a lie is not having a little bit of fun. Like, admitting that you lied about something else to create the persona, you're digging your hole even deeper at this point because it's not about like having a little bit of fun. Like, telling a joke is having a little bit of fun. Telling a lie, that's not having a little bit of fun, especially when you're claiming that the whole reason for the lie, the whole reason for the persona was to help people fight depression. So it's okay to lie to these people to help them get better.
hey, still I have to absolutely crush myself to do so, and I'm wrecked physically and cognitively, and hormone replacement has helped in a profound and significant way. And still, I
But it
believe
wasn't the
that the
liver.
path to
It
paradise.
wasn't those raw testicles and raw liver and raw beef that made you feel better, right? It was the hormones, all the replacement therapy, all those pharmaceutical grade levels of stuff that you're getting from your clinician. That's what's making you feel good. Man, drugs are good, brother. Drugs make you feel real good. That's what they're there for.
Is paved in.
It's one of those cases, man, where it's hard to believe anything that's come out of his mouth now, or anything that's going to be coming out of his mouth in the future, because he's already proven that he's willing to lie, cheat, etc., to get his objectives, which is, get rich and be this famous person. And the reality is, at this point, he's destroyed his brand. Now, whether or not people are going to stick with him through this remains to be seen. I will say this, everybody in life deserves a second chance. Brian Johnson, aka the Liver King, is probably one of those people. This is publicly at the very least the first time we have seen him screw up in this way. However, it brings into question everything that has ever been done by this individual in terms of the um, social media space and their position as an influencer. So moving forward, that trust has been destroyed, and I'm sure there are going to be some people who are blindly going to follow along. But I think it's a cautionary tale of the dangers of social media because people can show you something that is completely false. It's completely a lie. It has nothing to do with reality. And if you believe it, you can get caught in a nasty cycle where you fall victim to scams and beyond. So this is a case study, if nothing else. Anyway, if you like what you heard here today, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. This is not normally something I cover on my channel, but it's been fun to listen to, and I thought I'd add my little voice to the corner of the internet. So support if you can. You can join as a member, use super thanks, super chats, and stickers. There's also a Patreon page. Check all the links out below, and I'll see everybody in the next episode. Renfield out.